material. Meanwhile, the president picks and rips Senator Rand Paul, just joining a lawsuit challenging the president's recess appointments to the National Labor Relations Board. The Kentucky Republican, the first sitting senator to legally object. What's going on here, Senator?
Well, you know, I think the president is unaware that the Constitution has checks and balances. He gets to appoint people, but they're supposed to be approved by the Senate. Now, he's now defining that we were in recess, but that's news to us because the senators that are here don't think we ever were in recess. So we don't think the president should have that power. We think it's unconstitutional and illegal, and we're going to fight him in court.
So what's the protocol on this? That formally the word has to go out that you guys were in recess. It doesn't matter that most of you were away. What's the deal?
Well, you know, there's been a tradition for at least 80 to 100 years that as long as you're gaveling in about every 3 days, that's considered to be in recess. Some of this is tradition, some of this is Senate prerogative, but some of this is that the power's supposed to be split. For high-ranking appointees, they're supposed to be approved by the Senate. So I think it shows a certain lawlessness that this president basically says he's going to grab up the law and tell everybody else what the law is, but really the power was supposed to be divided between the legislative branch and the executive. So what he's doing sets a bad precedent. If we continue on this precedent, tonight at 9 o'clock, he could appoint a Supreme Court justice. That is a terrible precedent, and I think that kind of lawlessness, we don't want to live under that.
Now, a lot of Democrats are criticizing your position, Republicans' position, and your anger with their anger at President Bush and his recess appointments, and his putting John Bolton in there to be our UN ambassador because he was going nowhere fast in a Democratic
Well, you know what
Senate.
happened when they got mad at that? The president, Harry Reid, then wouldn't allow Senate to go out of session, and so they didn't allow any more recess appointments after that by doing exactly what the Republicans have been doing, and that's staying in pro forma session so we don't go into recess. So we're doing exactly what the Democrats did to prevent George Bush from having recess appointments, and it is part of the checks and balances between the Senate and the presidency.
Technically, then, if he's violated the Constitution or what are the separation of powers here, that's an impeachable offense at its extreme. Do you agree?
Well, I think we have to have the courts determine whether or not he did violate the Constitution. We can actually make that accusation, and we are, and we think it's illegitimate what he's done, and we will fight that in court. We will challenge him in court. There is already a court case that's beginning. I will have a friend of the court brief that goes along with that, challenging any decisions by the National Labor Relations Board as being illegitimate because he disobeyed the Constitution in appointing these people.
All right, Senator, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. We're just